Yeah, and I'm absolutely delighted that our regular pundit, Dave Nixon, is with us this evening. How you doing, Dave, and how's your foot?
I'm okay. My foot's still in the boot. Hopefully might get it off next month, but we'll just have to see. But I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
So you're not in any pain or anything, Dave? It is getting better.
No.
Now, we had a little chat before we came on air, Dave. Did you say you went fishing this weekend?
Well, I was fishing last night and I was fishing this morning. And it was freezing cold, Tony. It was Baltic. I was up at Isleth, what we call Top Isleth, Barrow Anglers. That's the only place I can fish because I'm restricted in how much walking I can do. So I was fishing up there and it was Baltic. But I caught 6 fish this morning and I caught 2 last night. So I was quite happy.
What were they then?
Trout, Tony.
Okay.
Trout.
And do you eat them or do you put them back?
I didn't. I do eat them, but not too much because they're. I don't know. You get used to them. I mean, when my children were younger, they used to say, "Oh no, not trout again, Dad," for tea. So yeah, I have them occasionally, but the ones I caught yet last night and this morning, I put back safely, unharmed.
So what's the general situation then in the local fishing scene, Dave? Is everything back to normal?
Well, all the venues are open and people are fishing, and the fishing's been quite good. I've had reports from Windermere anglers, Barrow anglers, and spoken to people that fish on the Furness fisheries. This cold snap probably reduce the number of people that are going fishing because it is cold. But generally speaking, everything's going okay. People are still staying local, but the venues that are further afield are now opening. So as far as trout fishing goes, you can now go down to Blithfield, which is near Stoke, and you can go to the main waters are Anglian waters, which are Graffham, Rutland Water, Ravensthorpe and Pittsford, which are down in Northamptonshire and Leicestershire. So increasingly people are going to be, getting a weekend break or whatever and going with their friends for a weekend fishing. So it's beginning to get back to normal.
Good. Now, Dave, I know you're not necessarily into football and in particular Barrow AFC, but last night was an absolutely fantastic result for Barrow. They went and won at Forest Green Rovers, who were in promotion contention. They won 2-0, and as a result of that particular result, Barrow are guaranteed League Two football next season. Now, I know you've been chairman of Barrow Raiders and all the financial ramifications of what league you're in, but not only from a sort of good feel perspective for Barrow staying in League Two, but financially, it's absolutely massive.
Yeah, well, I have been following them. I'm not interested in soccer, rugby football league, and rugby is football. They play soccer, in my view, anyhow. But since talking to you about them, I've been infected with your enthusiasm, Tony, for Barrow soccer, and I will go and watch them when the crowds come back, probably with you, and have a couple of pints in the bar. But I have been following the results when I've realised they're playing, and it's a feel good feeling. I feel good that they've stayed in League Two. It's good for the town, the supporters. Let's hope they do a little bit better next year. It's been a little bit squeaky this time, but I think big raps to the manager, the guy that took over from David Dunn, was it?
Yeah.
I think he's done an excellent job and probably deserves to be given it full time. So yes, very, very pleased for them.
Yeah, Rob Kelly is called, Dave. He has been the sort of foundation this season, and at the end of the day, he's done what his objective was, and that was to keep them in league football. And I mean, what a tragedy it would have been, wouldn't it? 48 years of being in non-league football and not being able to see your team in the football league. I mean, it would have been mentally straight.
Oh yeah, I think it would have been very depressing for the town. I think it's excellent. I think now, though, I mean, without knowing anything about soccer, they need to now build on what they've achieved. I mean, they can sit back and give themselves a pat on the back now, but I think they need to be looking at what they need to do to improve and move up the league. You know, they've consolidated. Let's look at them winning the league now and going up into League One.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we need things to settle down, the euphoria to sort of, let's enjoy it while it's here at the moment. There's only 2 games left. And then at some point, I'm sure that the board of directors and the management will sit down and have a proper review about the positives and the negatives and what they need to do to strengthen the squad. Because, look, at the end of the day, they finished 3rd, 4th, bottom. But yeah, people in Barrow are quite patient. Consolidation was the main aim, but next season we'll be looking to kick on. We don't want another season like this where you're potentially going to get relegated, do you?
No, and as I say, I don't know whether it means that they've got to get more players, better players. I don't know, but obviously they've done the job this time, so they've got something to build on. I think the next thing is who's the manager, and I think this guy, Rob Kelly, deserves a shot at it. He's obviously gone in and done it. He's done something to galvanise the team. Now in these next 2 games, hopefully they can push on and the pressure's off them, so maybe they can play good football, entertaining football, and show what they can do with the results.
Yeah, the thing that surprised me, Dave, is I've been watching a couple of interviews from Tuesday evening's football match, and I think that Rob Kelly is probably the best guy because the players have an utmost respect for him. Not only is he, I don't know him, but apparently a really nice guy. He's a real professional and they really like him and they like playing for him as well, even when they're not picked. They've got respect for him. So I think he said he didn't really want the job at one point, but I don't know. I think that he would do pretty good for Barrow with the right people around him.
Well, it's a slam dunk then, isn't it? Give him the job.
Right,
persuade
Dave.
Him.
Precisely. Right, Dave, me and you are also interested on the other half of Barrow, the rugby league half at Craven Park. Barrow's had a couple of friendlies now. They played Workington Town the other week. Had a good victory there. Improvement required, but hey, first game back, it was pretty good. And on Sunday, they went to Hunslet, which is no easy place. Me and you have been there several times, Dave. A small pitch within a running track, up against some big Yorkshire forwards, as always. And they came away with a slender victory there. I think it was 12-6, was it? And
yeah, 12-6.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it, but I know you did. So what's your summary of that performance?
Well, I thought Barrow played very well. I thought the forwards, especially, were very impressive. All the forwards, and I've in the past been critical of Ryan Duffy, but I thought he really showed up. He was a different player on Sunday. Played really, really well. Got a cracking try. Just burst onto the ball from about 5-10 yards out, and there was no stopping him. I thought Ben Harrison was the standout forward. Obvious that he's played at a much higher level. And I think once the team are playing regularly and get used to his way of playing, I think he'll be a great asset. I don't know whether he picked up an injury. I haven't read any newspaper articles or anything this week, but the commentators were saying he was holding his shoulder and looked like possibly ribs as well. But I thought the fitness of Barrow was very good. They were fitter than Hunslet. And I thought as well that there were some big Yorkshire forwards, as you've said. I thought Barrow's defence was really well marshalled. It was just a little bit of lack of awareness that allowed Hunslet in, but Barrow defended their line really well. I thought the backs, we moved the ball. We weren't just going one out. I thought sometimes, and the commentators commented on it, that we moved the ball when really somebody should have taken it, should have straightened the line up a little bit. There was a possibility of passing for passing's sake, but we did move the ball. The ball got out to the wingers. Shane Toll got some ball. Adam Ford got some ball. Lewis Cresswell came into the line well. I think once they get used to playing, we could have quite a handy team here.
Now, it does bode well for the season, Dave. I mean, we are in League One, so we have to put it in the context a little bit. But the first game is a week on Sunday, I believe, Coventry Bears away. I don't think they've done particularly well in some pre-season friendlies. I think somebody put 50 into them. Can't remember who it was, but we should be looking to open up with a victory at Coventry, and then we've got Keighley at home, first home game the following week. So a good start is imperative with only 18 games, isn't it?
Yeah, traditionally we would expect to beat Coventry quite easily, but we'll have to see. Keighley, I think, will be a different proposition, but I think Crester's got them playing in a way that looks promising. It's not one-out rugby. We have got a good set of forwards. Saying that, Lusted, we've got the Waln brothers, we've got Danny Morrow, who I thought had a good game on Sunday as well. We've got Ryan Duffy, who, if they work it right, will be unstoppable near the line. And then we've got Ben Harrison to lead, and he does lead by example. I think we should be in with a chance. And also, Crester seems to have improved the way we're playing. The decision making's good. We're, as I've said previously, we're moving the ball into the backs. The main thing is, can everybody stay fit? Because it's not a big squad. So yes, what you say is we do need to certainly win more games away from home than we have done in the last couple of seasons.
So, yeah, we're having a few connection problems there, but we're back with Dave now. Hopefully everything will be fine. So in your opinion, Dave, it's looking pretty good for Barrow in League One. As I say, the season starts a week on Sunday away at Coventry Bears, and then they've got Keighley at home the following week. So, yeah, they've got to hit the ground running with only 18 league games, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. They've got to make Craven Park Fortress Craven Park, but I think Crester's got a good game plan. I think he's got the players. So fingers crossed, we'll get promotion on our own merit.
Now, as you say, you were watching Hunslet versus Barrow on a live stream, and our league have also introduced live streaming, which is very, very good. But I've read this week that the RFL have agreed, or the Super League of the RFL have agreed a deal with Sky for an extra couple of years. So that's good news. It's an extra, well, it's £25 million coming into the sport, but it's not as much as what the deal was previously. So that's going to leave the RFL open to put Championship and League One rugby on stations like Premier Sports, for example. So what's your thoughts on the future, Dave, in terms of televising League One and the Championship. Is our league fine, or do we need to get it on a television station?
Well, for us fans, us fans of Barrow and fans of rugby league, our league is great. It's very professional. You don't get as many camera angles as you do on Super League, but it's like being at a match. You get the overall view. I think it's a bit mean of Sky, but the issue will be that the RFL or whoever are getting 25 million. There's not going to be a lot of money trickling down to the likes of Barrow. So I think it's imperative that the RFL get certainly the Championship onto TV, onto whether it's Premier or the BBC or whoever. I think that is essential. Otherwise, I think some of the clubs that are less well off than Barrow, and I think Barrow are being particularly well managed at the moment by the board, got a lot of good initiatives going that's bringing money in, then I think some of the other clubs are going to struggle. It's going to hit them hard. So it is imperative that they get it onto TV. I don't think the BBC are going to come in for it. So I would hope that somebody like Premier will come in for it, or Free Sport, or whatever. And there'll be some cracking games. I mean, Featherstone, Halifax, Featherstone, Dewsbury, Toulouse. Toulouse, Featherstone's going to be a cracking game. I don't know so much about League One. If I was being objective, I don't think the standard there is particularly high, really. For there'd only be one or two games, maybe three games that you'd want to show, maybe promotion games at the end of the season. But the Championship is a good product if you like rugby league.
Yeah, absolutely. And they used to show the Blackpool Bash. I'm not sure whether that's taking place this season. I don't think it is.
I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything or seen anything. But some cracking, Batley, Dewsbury. It's always a good game, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, the other thing, Dave, at the weekend, I did watch England versus France Rugby Union Women's Six Nations International. I don't know if you managed to catch that.
No, I didn't watch it.
Do you know what? It was absolutely fantastic. What a match. England came out winners in the end by a few points, but the intensity and the physicality of it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I have watched women's rugby union, and there's less grunt in it. There's more, to my mind, anyhow, more running and passing, and it's more like the game that I used to watch when I was in college in Wales, and when I used to go down to Cardiff to watch England Wales during Wales's purple period, where we never won a game. But there was a lot more skill in it than tactical, if you understand what I mean. There was none of this box kicking. They did kick for touch, but it was a far better spectacle to watch if you weren't an aficionado of rugby union. And I found that with the women's game, it is attractive to watch. I haven't watched any women's rugby league yet, but I have got a game taped that was on Monday, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So I have to see what that's like.
Yeah, well, I've found that if you go on YouTube, and this is for the listeners to know as well, all of the sort of men's championship and League One games through our league are on there to watch. And there was a women's game at the weekend. Warrington played Huddersfield in the Challenge Cup, and that was on there. So I did watch it out of curiosity, and that was very good as well. Warrington hammered Huddersfield. Warrington got promoted from the same league that the Barrow Ladies were in a couple of seasons ago, and they looked very impressive. And again, the speed, the physicality, it did surprise me.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to watching the Barrow Ladies, and I think increasing sort of what's the word exposure on TV, on Sky or wherever, will be good for Barrow, because the more people see the game, the more people will think, well, I'll get down to Craven Park a little bit earlier and I'll watch the women's game before I watch Barrow versus Keighley or whoever, or Barrow versus Whitehaven. And it's good for the sport. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Well, I keep looking on the RFL website, hoping to find some fixtures on there, but still haven't got any. So I don't know what's happening there. We'll have to try and find out when the ladies' season actually does start.
Well, we've got a meeting tonight of the Advantage Community Foundation. So I'll ask, well, you'll be at them. It's a Zoom meeting. I'll ask Shona Hartley, who's the sort of manager of the Advantage, if she knows when the fixtures are likely to start.
Right, Dave, and the last sort of subject I'd just like to broach is, I did read this week that Ottawa, who were due to join Barrow's League One last season, but COVID put a stop to that, have now formed a North American Rugby League group. There's about a dozen teams in it, including teams from Las Vegas, New York are in it, Ottawa are in it, Toronto Wolfpack are in it. And they're going to start playing in 2022, which is fantastic for the global sport of rugby league and promoting it in North America. But the thing that surprised me was the guy who's running it also said that they're going to have a team in the RFL still in League One. And I'm thinking, wow. I mean, so Ottawa are going to be in RFL League One in 2022, and they're also going to be in the North American League as well. What do you think about that?
Well, is he saying that they're going to run two teams, or it's going to be?
Yeah, two teams.
Well, I think the RFL perspective should be that they encourage Ottawa to participate fully in the North American League, because in my view, and it's borne out by what happened with Toronto, that a slight hiccup, well, although the pandemic is not a slight hiccup, but anything that impinges on travel or lack of funds causes, the club to fold. And it's going to be the same with Ottawa. They should be playing in their own league and developing that league over there, like the NRL in Australia. They should be taking that route, not coming into League One with teams like Barrow and Keighley and, our teams having to go to Ottawa. How much is that going to cost? Well, my views on, I think most people know my views on this expansion. I think it would make more sense to me to try and, if you're just going to have one team, then let's go to Ireland. Let's find somewhere where we can put a team. If we could put a team in Dublin or Limerick or Sligo or whatever,
or even
maybe
Glasgow,
another team in France. But North America, it's crackers. And as I've said before, Tony, the NFL, which is the richest sport in the world, cannot put together a business plan to put a team in Europe, never mind, in one country. They can't put one. The prime place would be London. They can't put a business plan to put a team there and play it. But we can put a team in Canada and have teams like Barrow and Keighley and Coventry Bears and all the Hemel Hempstead, if they're still going, or North Wales, South Wales Crusaders or whatever, and have them traipsing over to Ottawa. They haven't got any money as it is. They play in front of one man and his dog on a community field, and they're going to go to Ottawa.
Well,
I think there's only the RFL that could come up with a plan like this. I would love to see the RFL publishing the business plan that supports a North American team playing in League One.
Yeah, I think Ottawa would stand all the financial repercussions of them playing in League One, by the way, similar to Toronto.
Well, look at Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what happens if there's an airline strike or, and it wasn't exactly, when Barrow went over to Toronto in the first year, the accommodation, from what I was told when I was on the Barrow coach going up to Whitehaven, was less than satisfactory. Joe Bullock could not fit in the bed.
Oh dear.
The bed was too small. They were in university halls of residence.
All right.
And people taking time off work, people having trouble with visas.
Yes.
They don't think this through. What they want, I don't know why they don't say, well, all right then, Ottawa, get a team together and you can go straight in the Super League and we'll give you a dispensation of 1 or 2 years where you won't get relegated and away you go. Instead of this farce of going into League One with fully professional players like Toronto did, putting 90 points into or 100 points into South Wales Raiders or whatever they're called, and winning the league without losing a game or a try scored against them, doing the same in the championship after 2 goals and then into the Super League and then folding. Yeah. It's a joke.
Well, I think it'd be good, Dave, if we could get a 3-way conversation with Ralph Rimmer. We've had him on Sportzone before. He's very accommodating. He seemed pretty honest and good in his responses.
He is if you don't have a go at him.
But it'd be good to see what his thinking is in terms of this North American experiment, let's call it, wouldn't it?
Well, why are they not looking at, Ireland has, they've got Gaelic football, which is a contact sport. There's a lot of rugby union. They've got hurling, which is a contact sport, even though it's using, hurleys. They've got soccer. They know about rugby league. We've had development officers over there. We've done work in and around Dublin because I know that I know a couple of guys from Barrow that went over there and did some sessions. Why are we not looking at the United Kingdom? Why aren't we putting more resources into this area? Or is it just the fact that somebody with a lot of money has decided they want to have a team in Ottawa, come what may? So the RFL says, right, and it's all about money. It's not about developing the game. It's about money and having the money and having a little pet scheme, no matter where you are. We'll have one in Dar es Salaam if somebody turns up from there. Yemen, we can.
For a minute there, Dave, I thought you were talking about the European Football Super League.
Well, yeah, don't say that too loudly, Tony, because the numpties at the RFL will probably come up with an Australasian competition where we'll have St. Helens and Wigan playing Brisbane Broncos. Hackers.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for that rant, Dave. That's blown the cobwebs away, isn't it? So
yeah.
Anyway, so we'll finish there, Dave. Thanks for your contribution. We'll speak again after Barrow's first game at Coventry. So make sure to watch that on our league, and then we can have a.
Oh yeah, well I've one of the boys has got me a subscription to our league, so good. I will be watching the games, if we're not doing anything for BBC Radio Cumbria, maybe you and me could have a run out to one of the nearer home games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keithley or something if we're not commentating, but yeah. Well, thanks for that, Tony. So I'll see you tonight on Zoom.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, thanks very much, Dave. See you again, mate. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.